So, what can we expect from this final episode?
Explosions! Lots of thrills, lots of excitement, lots of drama, and I think a lot of tears.
And there's a lot of rumors online from the fans, and they say it's going to be the best one out of the three.
It's possible. Anything's possible. It is certainly, it has a lot of the emotional kind of character stuff of the first movie, but it also has kind of the scope and scale of the second movie. So I've certainly heard from fans that have seen it that it is their favorite one. But that's going to be kind of the fun of the series, the three movies that everyone's going to have their favorites. So I can't pick favorites.
Do you believe it's important to please the book's readers in order to deliver a good movie, or it's something you don't really consider?
Oh, I absolutely consider it. Those book fans are super important to me. They're the reason we have this franchise to begin with. They supported us on that first movie. It's the reason why we have this franchise. Now we do have, more movie fans than we have book fans, so I have to take both into account. But they are super important to me, and I know what they're looking for. And at any point, I'm always trying to weigh: can I keep this aspect from the book in the movie and do it justice? If I can't, I have to change it. But I'm always starting from that place of how to please those book fans.
So how was James Dashner involved in the whole process?
James has always been an amazing kind of, collaborator basically on these movies. He always gives us the freedom to make the movie. He never kind of, sits over our shoulder and says, no, you're doing this wrong. He trusts us to make a good version and an adaptation of his book. And he's been one of our best fans, basically. So we always show him the script when we're done, and we get some notes from him. We'll ask him questions about things, and he's always just been a great sounding board for how to convert his pages of text into visuals for a movie screen.
I find this final movie very spectacular. So how did you put together on screen this world made of glass and steel?
Yeah, we shot the movie in Cape Town. Which was a good foundation, I guess, for what the city was. And then, our amazing artists at Weta, the best VFX company in the world, worked to really kind of, add to that and make it much more interesting than we could ever find on Earth. So yeah, it was a fun challenge this time to kind of set up this world.
What are the main challenges you had to go through while shooting this new movie?
It's probably the scope and scale of it. It's a much bigger movie this time. It's more complicated story-wise, narratively. It's a lot of different perspectives, lots of different stories, different characters we have to follow, and just how do we properly kind of say farewell to the series for the fans? How do we stick that landing of the ending? That was a real challenge.
Can you describe the evolution within these 5 years and the most memorable days you spent on set?
I think probably the most memorable things are just those moments in between setups where we're just joking around. We've made such a kind of great bond with all the cast and the crew. I mean, the cast has obviously been through all the movies, but a lot of the crew has also been through each one of these movies. So it's been this little unique family, this little traveling circus going across the world, making these movies together. And it's been, an experience I think we'll all kind of, remember fondly for the rest of our lives.
How do you feel now? Like, you feel a sort of relief, or you're gonna miss me? Because you're so young. There'll be like so much pressure on you.
Yeah.
There's a huge budget on this movie.
Right.
But still, you made a great job. So are you now like happy and?
Yeah,
it's
a happy, sad thing for sure.
Yeah.
I think we've had an incredible experience making these movies. I'm super thankful for the opportunity to even have this chance. I never thought I'd be in this position, to have 3 movies under the same kind of umbrella, the same universe, the same stories, a trilogy for my first 3 movies. That's like amazing. So I'm super happy to have had the opportunity. We've had a ton of fun, but I'm also really thrilled to kind of set this chapter of my life, to the side and move on to something new and big and exciting again. So it's a flood of emotions,
Are there any movies that inspired you to film this final episode?
The final movie is tricky. I mean, I've always, I grew up in that 80s era. So, I grew up on Star Wars and, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Jurassic Park and, all these kinds of movies. And they're always kind of action-adventure movies. But it's oddly enough, I don't know if people would see the correlation, but I watched a lot of Munich for this movie because it has so much kind of attention to it. Right. There's a lot of just drawn out suspense, which we kind of tried to create in this movie in particular. But, there's so many influences that I've had over my life watching movies that I'm sure that they've made their way onto the screen, even subconsciously,
I wish you the best.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
L'ultima città è la base operativa di Wicked.
È lì che andremo.
Non mi
Maze Runner, la rivelazione.